Okay, I got an update on the tractor. Took it all apart to get the wiring to begin with. Found out the throttle cables are actually in pretty nice shape. Still has the original retainer to keep the cable out of the way of the hood alongside the gas tank. Still has the insulator below the amp meter to keep that from shorting out. There's some rust on it, like looks like someone got fancy with some touch-up paint, and there's some rust on the battery side and underneath the logo, but not bad. The cables are nice and free. I sprayed them down with some oil. And while that was all off, I cleaned up the chrome on the column and the lift handle. They cleaned up pretty nice. I also did the chrome on the grill. I took the grill apart and cleaned that up. I got one bad spot of rust right there, but everything else is pretty good. Steering wheel cleaned up. I even found a cap for the steering wheel amongst all my parts. That one's not very good. There's some rust there, but not terrible. And I also have these that are going to go on and cover up the wrong color rims. Believe it or not, you couldn't even see a shine off of this hubcap over here. It was all brown. This one shined up pretty nice. You can still see a reflection in there. Pretty sure. I didn't have a light in my way. Oh. Where's there no light? There we go. That works. I also got a chrome air filter. I gotta clean this up yet. I haven't cleaned that one up, but that's gonna go on the engine. So I went over this with a pressure washer, sprayed down some purple power, and then rinsed it off again. Scrubbed it with a rag as best I could. I'm not going to go crazy on this thing. The fenders are in a little bit worse shape than I had thought. I got a lot of cracks underneath here. There must have been a lot of weight on here at one time. There's cracks here, there's cracks up there, and cracks over here. I got to weld up on it. But it's still there in one piece. I also have to get rid of this angle iron that someone had stuck on there I didn't see before. So, getting there. Anyway, I've been going over the engines. I got my 16 horse here. This engine I took the decompression out of to up the compression. That thing runs pretty high compression. It runs really good. I also have the ignition advanced on this to 32 degrees before top dead center when it goes off. You use an electronic ignition. You can check my videos out on that. I have some videos back when I did that. So I was going over the 23D. And I'm thinking this will be a good engine to put on my trailing rotary mower. I was actually surprised that this had really, really good compression, and the muffler came out without a fight. And the interesting thing about the muffler, it being right here, is it's a Nelson. Really nice original condition. Not a pingy piece of crap, to put it lightly. But yeah, nice solid original muffler on there. I'm happy to have that. Only parts I'm waiting for this engine is a carburetor and the plunger seal retainer that goes right in here to hold this real rubber seal in place. That's all I'm waiting on for that. So I cleaned up for now. So I had to grab the other screen and put the screen on here from that grill onto here. I was thinking about taking that center screen, but when they had drilled the holes in the side of it, right there, they drilled the holes where the screws hold it on the inside. So I really don't want to use that. I'd have to put a big washer on there and it won't look good. And this one doesn't look terrible. However, it's got zip ties holding the whole side of the grill. The grill got cut all the way down. Hard to see, but if the zip ties weren't there, there would be nothing holding that one side. But it doesn't look too bad until you get really close. Most of the original paint is still on there, so I'm just going to leave that alone. I would have used that if there wasn't holes drilled in it, but what are you going to do? Side fenders, I think I can probably straighten out a little bit. They're not terrible. I haven't cleaned the any of that stuff yet. Gas tank had some rust pinholes in the very bottom of it I had to clean up and seal up right there. Some seal-all, which is gas resistant. The rest of the tank looks pretty good. And I also sealed the crack up with some seal-all up on top of here. The vent hole is still open on it. Here's that screen that had the holes in it. 1, 2, 3 holes in the front of it. So it's also got a few dings in it. It's not nice even curve like it used to be, or it's supposed to be. So little by little I'm getting there. Chrome's all cleaned up. Looking good. I even tried cleaning that button as best I could. So that came out a little bit better than what it was. It's not brown at least. I also got a little more news. That one piece of paper that was on top of the regulator right here, I found out what that was. Let me show you what I had of it. I found some other pieces of it. See, I found this piece on the frame by the engine, and this piece was stuck behind the regulator. Pretty long. So that's all I have. I know what the width is, and I know where the holes go. I just didn't know what the overall length of it was. So I was looking through my parts diagrams, and I found it here. And that's it right there. It's a battery insulator. You can see it right here in the picture. So I'm not too concerned with what the width is or where the holes are located, but I'm worried about how long it is overall. So I can look at what the distance is between the end of the gasket and where those holes are at. And I found the distance here was about 1/6 of the overall distance. So I can take the distance here and times it by 6, which is right around 2 inches or so. So this is like about 12 inches long. I made a new one right here out of gasket paper. You can buy gasket paper like this from Advanced Auto, and it's good for oil, radiator fluid, or gas. You can cut it to size and stick it in. I actually had to cut some of this for the sump gasket for the engine. So the overall measurements, in case anyone was curious, let me get this on here, is about 4.1 inches wide and about 12 inches long. And the holes are, let's see, I'm going to say 2.3 inches from the end. And the first hole, let's see where it's at. Yeah, it looks like the first hole's 1 inch on center, and the next hole is 1.7 inches, it looks like. Yeah, about 1.7 inches to the center of the next hole. So if anyone wants to reproduce one, there's your dimensions. I can always measure that. If you want me to put it in the description, I can, but I think that should be fine. 12 inches long, 4.1 inches wide, and whatever I had stated that measurement from here and then the here and here. Should be good. So if you ever want to make that, you can, and I'll show you how it would situate in the tractor. Now it's a battery insulator, so it's got to go by the battery. And that 12 inches sits perfectly right to the bottom of that battery box, and it wraps over where the regulator would be at, just like it was originally. So that's where that went. It was just right over the regulator. Not 100% sure why they did that. Maybe to keep the battery terminal from hitting the frame. I don't know. That's about where it would sit. So there's your update. If you like the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. As usual, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye.